My moment of truth. The debate for today is resolved that the Bruce Lee still is a hero to be modeled after for venture capitalists. Bruce Lee and I were born in the year of a dragon back in 1940. I grew up very fond and jealous of Bruce Lee, partly because of his brilliant performances. I was jealous, and he's still alive. His spirit goes on. He's God, G-O-D, God. The game of death still is alive and kicking in me, in my mind. So is Bruce Lee is a real hero even today or not for the venture capitalists? Let the debate begin. Affirmative rock. Every new venture needs charisma with a fresh idea. Bruce Lee is an attractive martial artist, and every big venture capital needs a man like Tetsuya Osamu. He was a real hero, Renaissance man. And Bruce Lee was an attractive artist, martial artist. And the venture capitalists have to have art in them, artful, the feeling, the skills rather, in them. Everyone has to have a certain kind of face, if not the two faces, just one face, charisma. So the guy who thinks from 0 to 1, instead of thinking from at the start line 1, 2, 3, but starting from 0, this is what it means to be a hero. I'm on the wind, I'm on the wing. 3 questions. Any objective rating methods? The negative says objectivity. Hey, what about the rating system? Rating system per se is objective. Or no, it's a subjective. Number 2, why do Japanese need to stay globally competitive? Global competition doesn't matter. What matters most is the survival skills. How can a nation survive? Look at all the other countries in Europe. Would Scotland be able to survive? The Irish would be able to survive. The Great Britain would be able to survive. The Germany, France, Portugal, you name it. They're trying hard to survive. Why global competition? Their major concern is survival. So that any proof rating improves the competition. You are trying hard because you've given incentives. But if you get a 4 point and then you get money, that's incentive. Incentivization, meaning the rating doesn't prove any competitiveness. Negative wind. What does a new startup need? An idea man, or a philosopher? Number 2, wasn't Bruce Lee an entertainer? He was big on Hollywood. He also made it on Hollywood. Despite the fact he made a lot of people jealous of him, his performances in terms of professional jealousy. Number 3 is a new venture, a martial art. Come on, isn't it a sport or a game? Where the money is involved. The money talks loud in this business. You got to have an angel in support of the new idea. So, we got to think about that, to think deep, and the Christians might destroy the affirmative contention. Negative rock. Every new venture needs at least one risk taker, but not an entertainer. They need self-sacrificial players. The risk takers, like a samurai full of a samurai spirit, need lots of guts and wits, but they don't need any audience. But the entertainers need audience. They go around seeking for the more audiences, the better. So you need a guy, tough guy, to put a team together. The real guy knows how to put his team together. In other words, even the venture businesses need, team players. That's what the venture business is all about. You gotta have to be stuck, tough, closely interwoven. Affirmative win. Wasn't Bruce Lee a risk taker himself? He was ready to take risks. Number two, wasn't he a tough coach himself? Tough coach being able to put together his own team. Number three, does a new venture need a good team player who prefers to go alone to get along? Anyone who plays a devil's advocate is able to take on the conventional wisdom. That's what it means to be a genius. Genius comes at a price. So anyone who tries to come up with a new idea has to be a free spirit. And great guys, geniuses, are meant to be free-spirited. Affirmative fire. Why did the Newsweek resurrect Bruce Lee, making him rise from the dead? He was a game changer, and who never dies in spirit. The game changer is the guy who thinks from nothing, from zero, not from the starting line. So that makes us free-spirited enough to be called a genius. What I mean to say is that the spirit of Bruce Lee lives on. He's an immortal soul. He didn't just change the rules of the game. He changed the game himself, using the bamboo stick to beat the guy with a nunchuck. What a breakthrough of the technology. He was right for the venture business. Never fire! Oh, give me a break. Bruce Lee was a hero whose spirit never died. He came up with a tragic superstar who broke bad after the game of death. He was no hero, tragic hero. He was anti-hero. After that, he got sort of bogged down in drug, some kind of medicine, and he died so young. I mean, he was great because he died young. Sakamoto Ryuma was famous because he died young. Yoshida Sen was big because he died young. Mishima Yukio was great because he died young. So by that kind of the line of reasoning, Bruce Lee was great because he died too young. Painfully true. Negative water. Cool your head. Just think, what if? What if Bruce Lee were still around? He wouldn't be as great as he was back in those days. That was then, this is now. Who needs Mishima Yukio for that matter? And the people still are worshiping Mishima the way a lot of young women worship Dazai Osamu, because he died too young, because it's so weak-kneed. So this is not evidence to prove that he was great enough to be admired for the rest of their life. So perhaps affirmative was right for the wrong reason. So he was no hero, and pay no attention to him, but he was right for the wrong. I admire him. That doesn't mean he deserved to be worshipped as a venture capitalist. Affirmative water. The time for me to wrap up the whole thing. What if he isn't a hero? Who is? he played for real, and I never failed to watch him without being impressed every time I see the Game of Death and over again. They never fail to impress me because he's a source of inspiration for me. You know, everyone needs an inspiration. So the angels of a venture capitalist have to have a needs. Michelangelo's had some kind of angels, and Leonardo da Vinci also got inspiration from above. So he played for real, burning himself out in his movies, The Game of Death. So he lived out his life, and even he was young, so he needs to get attention. はい、判定。ブルース・リーが今生きてたら75歳と私の同じ年なんですけど、ね、気になりますね。このテーマ、論題のスピリットは何かといったら、彼がベンチャービジネスのとしてベンチャービジネスにスピリットを与えるかどうかというテーマでしたね。だからベンチャーキャピタリストに対してどういうインスピレーションを与えるかどうか、その効果があるかということを分析してみなきゃいけません。彼はベンチャーキャピタリストではありません。武道家、もちろんプロモーターとかいろんなことをやりました。ビジネス強かった。しかし彼は多読家、本をものすごく読みました。東西の哲学者の本を全部読みました。そこでそのヌンチャクというテクノロジーを超えるものは普通の竹だったと、そういうような感じはベンチャービジネスのスピリットとしては当然そうですね。私も彼から手塚治虫からゼロからの発信で勉強しました。そういう意味でベンチャービジネスは武道家、これは命をかけてゼロからの思考で大成した人から学ぶ点は多々あります。肯定が価値。Way of English coming up.